Support the Amigos podcast and keep the Amiga goodness flowing for just $1 a month. Visit our page at patreon.com/Amigos podcast.
Hi everybody, welcome to Amigos. I'm John.
And I'm Aaron.
And today we're going to be talking about two games, Christmas Lemmings and Snow and Fire, Ice and Snow, Christmas Party, Macho Man. What is it called?
You're stupid.
Fire and Ice Christmas Special.
Fire and Ice. Remember I sang it last week?
Yeah, Hall & Oates.
No. Put that right there. That's yours, isn't it?
Yes. So Aaron, before we get into the Christmas madness, I do want to say if you're staying tuned for our gift explosion from all of the fine listeners and our own gift exchange, we're going to do that at the end of the show. So stay tuned. But we have some feedback from last week's show when we talked about Shadow Fighter. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember it.
Michael Knudsen writes in from Denmark.
The Nud.
Yeah, and remember that there was that basketball player that was supposedly from Denmark, and you questioned whether basketball was a thing in the great land of Danes?
I did.
He says basketball is not popular here and was probably even less popular back in 1995.
Thank you.
Affirmation, baby.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. That concludes the feedback that we received from our illustrious Shadow Fighter
That's not true. We got several pieces of feedback on Google+.
Okay.
One of which I want to go over. It's from a man, a wise man, a brilliant man, the name of Chris Folds.
Chris Folds.
The reason I bring up this particular piece of feedback is because Chris Folds fully agreed with me, and he's wrote this verbatim, and he thought you were out of your mind. He said, everything I said was right about that game, and he said all the things you said were foolish and wrong.
Now listen, I don't know if everyone can see that sticker on your hat there, and you've got a powered by Amiga Santa Claus hat. That's awesome. That's from the factory.
That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't just glue a sticker on it.
Yeah.
That'd be something a loser would do.
So Aaron, it's time for the Polar Express, the special winter edition of the Gamble Train.
Oh, okay.
Let's fire up this week's Amiga news.
Okay. Now, as we determined last week, firing up the Amiga news is not the easiest thing to do, so we're going to do our best. So we'll get back to that. Let's talk about, now this is a bit of a hot news item this week. Someone has put up I'm sure it's probably over by now, they've put up an Amiga for sale.
It is still going on.
This is the historically important Psygnosis Amiga 3000.
Yeah, this is less than 3 hours to go on this.
Boy, is this thing
auction.
expensive. I'm going to read this verbatim. This is a truly unique, one-of-a-kind Amiga 3000 used by various artists at Psygnosis. The seller has had this in his possession for 20 years. The seller is Mike Clark. He worked at Psygnosis from 92 to 99. He did audio. And this is one of the number of machines that he got out of there that was getting ready to be thrown out. Of course, it still works. This was used by Jeff Bramford, the artist at Psygnosis. They did a bunch of stuff on it. He's got a long list of stuff that was done on it here. Jeff confirmed that he used the machine for bits of art on Carthage, Infestation, Shadow of the Beast 2, Air Support, Killing Game Show, Orbitus, Lemmings, Aqua Venture, Shadow of the Beast 3. So, I mean, a lot. There's a ton, and there's more. If you scroll down through here, I mean, this is a pretty important. I'm going to take the man at his word.
I believe that this is legitimate.
Now, right now, with 3 hours, well, this is, now we're taping this on Friday. 3 hours and 12 minutes to go. This thing is up to 1,270 pounds.
Yes, that's very
that's
very
what's that, about
expensive.
$1,800, something like that?
Yeah.
And 170 pounds for postage. So that's expensive. Of course, if you own this, you got something, theoretically.
Well, I mean, no. Actually, you do have something if you own this.
Yeah.
You own something.
Right. You got something, but you have something special? Probably. Again, if we take the guy at his word, it's kind of cool. What do you think about that kind of stuff? Are you into those keepsakes?
Well, I have to think about, if I put myself into something that I care more about than Amiga hardware. So say that I had, if I had the opportunity to buy a Steve Wozniak autographed Apple II, okay? Or maybe this was Steve Wozniak's personal Apple II, would I think that was worth 1,300 pounds? Absolutely. I think that's awesome. This guy, I don't know if this guy, the guy that owned this machine originally, if he was the Steve Wozniak of the Amiga.
He was not. He was obviously it was a Psygnosis house machine.
Yeah. So, is it worth that much? Well, how much does a regular 3,000 go for these days?
Probably not even half that.
Okay. So if we say, let's say it goes for half of it. Is it worth twice as much because it was in the Psygnosis building?
I believe it still has Psygnosis stuff on it as well.
So I think if you are as hardcore as we know Amiga fans to be, shelling out this now, it'll be interesting to see how much the bidding goes up because at the end of these auctions, sometimes bidding goes through the roof. So it'll be interesting. Maybe we can follow up on this next week and see how much this ended up selling for. Yeah,
I think it's interesting. I don't get too super passionate about that sort of thing. That said, that's pretty neat. Those are a couple flagship titles in there, Lemmings and the Shadow of the Beast. And this thing had played a part in them. If anything, you could look at it. Listen, I'm one of these guys that looks at some stuff I've got and just thinks about how cool it is. So you could really look at that and be like, wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, just looking at it, there's nothing externally that would mark it as its history.
Yeah, as far as I know. So I thought that was pretty cool. I saw that pop up everywhere. Let's see what else we've got here. Duncan Stiles has an article up here on the Amiga Calendar 2019. I believe this is the same guy that did the calendar I bought last year. It looks like the same type of calendar. It's the same front. So I bought one of these calendars last year, and it was okay. It was nice. It's expensive, but if you're looking for some Amiga art in your calendar.
Yeah, and something that I appreciate is at least he does write a little copy, underneath there. It's not just only screenshots.
That looks awful.
So.
It looks, exactly like my calendar. So I don't know if it's, but anyway, it's kind of cool, kind of neat. So we're going to skip Dreamcatcher stuff here. Okay, here we go. Just popped today. In fact, Boat just added this right as we were sitting down. All-Terrain Racing, a festive Amiga Edition mod. And this was linked from Indie Retro News. You got the video there of it here. Everyone likes it. Amiga had a neat tradition. I don't know how many other computers did this with the Christmas stuff.
That's a great question.
Because I know.
I think that there was probably a pretty small. Well, no, I don't want to say there was a small window where stuff like this could have been done. You could have had. You were involved in the PC scene. Do you remember Christmas editions and stuff coming out?
The PC and the Amiga were pretty much. I don't remember this stuff happening on the Coco or any of the consoles.
Well, I don't think that there was as much of a Coco scene as there was an Amiga scene.
Well, there was a pretty.
They weren't selling software in the numbers to the Amiga.
They were pretty. They had a pretty good scene, but people could have done it. Anybody could program, and spice up their thing with Christmassy stuff.
I think that you look at it like a lot of these were cover discs for magazines, and there was enough of a circulation where you could say, hey, if we put Christmas All-Terrain Racing, obviously they didn't do that.
Now this can't be new unless they put new. We've actually played this.
Well, All-Terrain Racing is not new.
No, I'm talking about the Christmas. I've played the Christmas version of this.
Looks like this is new. I don't think that you're thinking of the right game. Now, we have played All-Terrain Racing. This was the infamous game that when Amigathon went south, this is what we were playing. But this is a new mod that has just been released.
I could have sworn I played a Christmas mod of this game. Maybe I'm insane. Anyway, All-Terrain was a pretty cool game.
It's very cool. I like it a lot.
I dug it quite a bit. Let's get into some stuff that the Dreamcatcher did this week, and he's been a busy lad. He's put up some interesting, some pretty funny stuff too, I'd say. So, did you read this thing here on this time? Dreamcatcher looked at a game called Premiere. Now, again, I've not heard of this one. Okay, he does this every time.
Oh my gosh! I'm clicking on all the Dreamcatcher articles except for the right one.
Yeah, there it is. So this is a game where you basically you're basically in old movies.
Yeah, and I did read this article. This is like if Prince of Persia was actually pretty and played well, this is what it would be like. This has vibrant graphics, very smooth animation.
Have you played it?
No.
Well, how do you know it plays well?
Oh, because Dreamcatcher said so.
Also, you're ragging on Prince of Persia. That game's awesome.
Overrated. So I am definitely going to check out Premiere because any game that Dreamcatcher likes, I know is going to be gold.
Well, it looks great.
Yeah.
I will say that. And again, I had not heard of this. It's amazing how many games he comes up with that I've never heard of.
I know.
It makes me feel like a jerk. I'm like, I do not know about this. So Dreamcatcher has another article here. I guess sort of. It's a. This is a strange one. He has a connection. He makes a connection here between the Amiga and an outfit that made remote-controlled talking animals.
Really?
Did you read this? I read this one.
I have not read this one.
And this is actually pretty cool.
So we're talking about QuickShot, right?
So
makers of the very famous joystick.
If you scroll down, you see those little guys. So those are little remote-controlled animals, and you drive them around, and they've got a speaker in them.
Okay.
And so you can sort of talk. I guess you can talk to the controller.
It's like throwing your voice.
Yeah. And I would freak people out.
It would. Those things are scary looking anyway.
Yeah, pretty interesting article. Again, Dreamcatcher. And then he's actually got one more up here.
Yeah, he's been a machine.
That's even
this
more. This is the most ludicrous. I mean, this is his Christmas offering. And he makes the case that Die Hard 2, the game and the movie, are Christmas games/movies, complete with pictures and wacky antics.
Well, that's what I always heard, that Die Hard was like the best Christmas movie.
Well, this is Die Hard 2.
Is Die Hard 2 not set during the holidays?
I'll be honest with you. It's so long since I saw Die Hard 2, I don't remember anything about it.
Okay.
And
Again, I take Dreamcatcher at his word. If he says it's a Christmas game, I believe
not
it.
a memorable game anyway, in my opinion. So, video from us this week. I think the only thing we put up was ARG Presents Me and the Brent. We stepped deep in the heart of Texas.
Yes.
Boat. And
I've enjoyed. You've had several weeks where you've kind of put on. You do a lot more role playing in this show, where you're a Greek god one week, you're from Texas the next week.
Well, listen. I had a kid's novelty cowboy hat sitting in my room. I was like, hey, I'll look stupid in that, so I'm going to put it on.
There's no better system than the
Yeah. So but this is the Texas Insurance TI-994A. We played a couple games.
You had a foray into the foray.
Yeah. I should have used that. We did Parsec, which is sort of the premier game on the TI. Mm-hmm. Even you've probably heard of Parsec.
No.
Oh, really?
I don't know anything. I didn't, before I listened to the show, I didn't know anything about the foray.
And we also did, this was Brent's choice, Tombstone City in the 21st century. Sounds dumb, looks weird. Actually a pretty deep and interesting game.
That one really surprised me.
Yeah, it really was, I have to say, it was a lot more fun than I would have guessed. Mm-hmm. And Brent had even more fun with it because there were certain things about it I didn't even know. So actually, his review was, for once, it was helpful and informative. I didn't want to punish him afterwards. He did a good job. Now, this coming week, we may have a special guest as we delve into the realm of the Sega Game Gear boat. And for really sort of the first time, we will be shooting this show live 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you care to join us, of course, this show will be out after that, so it's sort of a moot point, I guess, isn't it?
Well, if you're watching us live now, as many people are.
But if you're watching us live, and if you want to see the Amigos Christmas, or if you want to see the Amigos Christmas Spectacular, here it is. If you want to see the ARG Christmas show, it will be Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be doing Game Gear.
So, the chat has vindicated you, by the way.
Okay.
It started.
Is it when you started badmouthing the Amiga, or when you started killing Prince of Persia?
They've pretty much been with you on every single point that that I've made. There was a Christmas ATR. It came with an Amiga magazine. It came out 20 years ago.
Thank you.
And also, the chat seems to think that Prince of Persia is amazing.
Thank you. God bless.
I can't argue with them.
These are my people right here.
I know. All right, Aaron. You ready to start our first game? The
I
first
am.
game of the Christmas explosion?
I'm ready for the...
Chosen by the fine folks at the Amigos Game Selection Committee.
This game, well, I don't. Which one do you want to do first? Do you have a preference?
Well, you got Fire and Ice up, so we can do that one first.
This game introduced me to something, some rarefied air on this show. So this game came out on Amiga Power, cover disc, issue 20, December 1992. Now, what were you doing in December of 1992?
December of 92. Boy,
Christmas time.
that was a great year for me. December of 92 I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
And that was one of the best Christmases of my life. Actually, it might have been the best Christmas I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I received for Christmas Final Fantasy for the NES, a Game Boy, and Super Game Boy Play Action Football.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Yes.
Is that good?
A very fine title.
Really?
Yeah.
And you got Final Fantasy for the Game Boy as well? Or was that
No,
for
Final Fantasy for the NES.
I see.
So,
I
very
see.
good Christmas.
I see, very good. I think I was finishing up school and getting ready to head to Lexington
The wide
that
world.
summer. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure I was in a real good mood. I was delivering pizza. So again, this was a cover disc, and it was based on a game that was out a little while earlier from the outfit Graft Gold. And
Yes.
we've tackled Graft Gold in the past. It was published by Amiga Power, obviously, since it was on their cover disc. This game was never released as a standalone game or anything like that. It was just a cover disc game. I kind of like the concept of the cover disc game.
I like it a lot because that means they were free. They were distributed with something you were getting anyway.
Now, and the people over in the UK can jump in if I'm wrong here, but as I recall, early on, people sending your games out on cover disc was sort of something that was happening all the time, full game. Mm-hmm. But effectively they put a stop to it. You know, they because it was they didn't like the distribution model. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I remember reading this. I was like, that's really strange. And so they went to sort of the demo or single level games.
Right.
And this one again, we had cover discs in the States. We didn't have as many magazines. We didn't have any Amiga magazines that had cover discs.
We're not really readers here in the States.
Well, no, we have magazines, but not with cover discs. I mean, we did like for example, PC Gamer had a cover disc or two. Mm-hmm. But there weren't a ton of cover disc magazines.
I think that I remember the official Sony PlayStation magazine had a cover disc. Once CD-based systems started coming out,
I'm talking floppies. There weren't a ton of magazines that had floppy cover discs.
I just think that the PC scene or the PC scene, the computer scene, was not as big. We're a console country, and in Europe and in the UK they weren't, and so they had circulation numbers that could support paying developers to make these cover disc games.
It's unusual. I was a big fan of the cover discs on the PC Gamer, and I would buy as many of the Amiga magazines from Europe as I could.
Yeah.
I love that.
I remember when they first launched Retro Gamer, the first year, Retro Gamer existed for about a year before they got bought out by their current publisher. And that first year, they included cover discs on all their issues, and they were like, it's just like the old days. And I was like, wow, the old days seem cool.
Yeah, well, and just add a little spice to the thing. And plus, it was neat that they would talk about games that you actually could play instantly. So, this came out. So basically what you've got here is one Christmas level of Fire and Ice. So you play a wolf in a Santa suit in the Arctic, and you basically have got to get across this level and get a key to unlock a big lock to go out a door.
Right.
Okay, and along the way you're confronted with penguins and little annoying baddies. It's sort of it's an up for a jump cave situation where you run around and you're outside. Some of it you go across water. There's whales. This game is kind of strange, and the mechanics are kind of goofy because when you shoot stuff, it sort of freezes, and then you sort of can run over it or stomp it. As I mentioned, I beat this level. Well, I cheated. I will. In full disclosure, I had unlimited men to beat the level.
My version came with a trainer as well.
Yeah,
I turned that on.
I turned that sucker on. Along the way, you can pick up various power-ups to give you different types of shots. You can hold down the joystick to do different stuff.
I don't put that on loop.
You know, I thought this game was. I mean, first of all, if you consider it was effectively give it away with the magazine, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
It was not crap.
Right.
Okay. I liked the way the music started out, and then it hit a point where you wanted to die. My kid was like, "Oh, that's nice music," and all of a sudden, about 20 seconds in, it turned.
I felt the exact same way.
Yeah.
When it started up, I was like, yes, an Amiga game with background music. And then I was like, man, maybe this is why Amiga games don't have background music.
Yeah, the
because
music,
it got bad.
and it just goes and goes.
Yeah.
And like I said, I liked if it stayed sort of that first. And it's not the least bit Christmassy either. It's not like Christmas at a techno bar.
Yeah.
You
You're
know?
a dance trash.
And so the music did. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't. I'm not saying it's bad music, but it just didn't. It for the long haul. Maybe if you're real good at this game, you whip to the level real quick.
Yeah, that might have had something to do with it.
But if you're
too.
like me and you struggle and struggle and struggle, and you just keep hearing this tune over and over,
Right.
and you want to kill yourself, yeah, it got old. When the wolf dies, he basically comes back, which is nice.
And one thing that's very nice about this game is that when you die, you reappear close to where you died.
Right.
They don't make you go back.
There are sections where you have to where basically you come up on this almost like a what do you call it, a button or something in the ground, and like ice steps or a ladder or something,
Yeah.
or a bridge.
Yeah,
will
it's
come out.
pretty neat.
It is, but I mean, I missed it the first dozen times. I know what that's like. How do I get across that? There's no impossible jumps or
No.
anything in it, but there are some places where you jump blind, which I'm not a huge fan of
Yeah.
that. There's no ability to scroll the level to look down.
Right. This platformer suffers from the same faults of many Amiga platformers in that they put you too high up on the screen because not only do you have the unnecessary HUD as you often do, but you also the plane of your existence is too high up on the screen, so you can't see enough of the screen around you to not have those blind jumps. However, this game does control better than most. It definitely controls better than Super Frog. Of course, it's not even in the same league as Zool.
This guy is a slower, sort of oafisher guy like Super Frog.
Well, yeah, but there are things like variable jump heights in this game that don't exist in Super Frog.
Well, what I'm saying is that not being super fast and small doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
It actually helps.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
this case.
absolutely. You're a little bit more floaty, which is definitely.
I mean, I would
good.
prefer a button for jump, but I mean, this wasn't Doom.
No, not at all.
It
Not at
wasn't
all.
Doom. I thought the backgrounds are nice. It's sort of a setting sun thing going on, I'm not going to heap praise in this game. It's okay.
It's fine.
It's nothing. It's no great shakes. It's a nice Christmas fun 20 minutes or whatever.
Did the main character, you know who he reminded me of? That squirrel in Ice Age.
Yeah.
Like it is his protruding eyes, you know.
You need some of the sound effects from that guy to really
Yeah.
complete the picture.
But I thought this was great. I mean, this is sort of a perfect example about what a cover disc game should be. It gives you a little taste of the main game, but it changes it just enough to reflect the spirit of the season. I thought that I couldn't think of a better way to demo a game to make a level. One thing that was cool that I've never seen on really any game that I can think of is at the beginning of the game when you fire it up, they show you a zoomed out picture of the entire level.
It sort of reminded me of the next game, Lemmings, where before the
Yeah.
level it sort of shows you the whole level.
Yeah, yeah.
That does help, sort of.
Kind of.
We're watching this play along, and there's a bit in this where there's a bunch of lights, and you can eventually make them say, I think it says Merry Christmas on it. What the hell are those? I mean, what?
Yeah, I think
I saw that too. I saw what
I
was
thought they were.
spelling, and I was like, what's going on here? Can you walk on these?
I never even realized they said Merry Christmas. I had no idea what those things were.
Oh yeah, I
so.
piddled with them until they said it. And I was like, okay. I will say I do have a couple problems with this game. But I guess it's mostly me. At the end of this game, you fight this end boss. I guess he's what is that guy? An ogre?
He's like a caveman.
Caveman. Anyways, you sort of have to roll snow into him. He jumps up near and big wads of snow come down and form a ball, and you can sort of use your blaster to shoot him into him and screw with him. And then when you kill him, basically you get like a key.
Right.
You finish your key. You're sort of building this.
You're collecting pieces of the key as the level goes on.
Then there's a lock. Okay, so the first time I killed this guy, I went to the lock. I missed the lock when I jumped. I fell down and had to go all the way back to the level.
Yep.
Then I got all the way back to the lock. I jumped into the lock, and it becomes a door.
Right.
Then I fell off again. I had to go all the way back to the level, and then try like gangbusters to not miss the door.
It's just inexplicably dumb level design.
But I will say the level design is challenging. It's interesting. It's not too confusing.
Yeah, but I mean that particular part. Like
that part
in what world is like, boy, this is really cool. I can't wait to make these people jump and miss the lock, then have to do the level again, then jump and hit the lock and make the door appear.
Did that happen to you too?
Yeah, it did.
I feel less like a jerk. I tried this on the 1200, and I tried it on the emulator. And it was apparently this did not come out in America because I didn't know about that crap at the bottom until I played it on the emulator.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing about
maybe they were building in NTSC compatibility with putting that down there.
The good thing about it is there's nothing I need to see, so it works out okay. But overall, a decent game. I actually found actually
now this was ECS OCS, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this actually has a lemon score of 8.13. This particular game, so that's getting up there. I don't know what to say. That's kind of strange. I would not go that high.
For what it is, I mean, why not? I mean, it is exactly what it should be.
As far as I can tell, it's just a one level.
Yeah,
too, right?
that's all it is.
And
yeah.
so there you go. So it's not bad. I mean, again, it was the fact that they gave it away with a magazine.
Now you didn't check on. I don't blame you if you didn't. You didn't check on eBay.
Oh,
to see
I
if
did
it is,
actually.
Did you?
I did. I checked on all of them.
Okay.
Actually. And $9 in the UK.
Okay.
$9 US. So now it's funny when I looked for this on eBay, it listed a bunch of magazine cover disc number 20s, but for whatever reason, I don't know what eBay was smoking. It listed them for Amiga format instead of Amiga Power, and so I had to dig down through there to find them, but there were a couple Amiga Power ones for sale.
And you don't think that it could have appeared on both magazines cover disc? It was only the one. Okay.
Because I checked Amiga formats, and it was the wrong one.
Okay.
So, hey, if I mean, obviously, clearly, you can go grab this at your leisure. But it runs fine. Mine had a nice little trainer on it. I will say that the pirates that got hold of this, they didn't skimp. I mean, it's a full.
Yeah.
The trainer's
you can
very elaborate.
do whatever you want to do. Yeah.
So I'm sure we probably played the same one. So
let's move on to.
We're gonna look at holiday / Christmas Lemmings 1993 / 1994.
Okay, so we're covering multiple titles here.
We are. 2 separate releases. Now, you really only have to cover one, and I'll explain why. But we're going to start with 93. So, in 93, it was DMA decided it was time to put out a holiday version of Lemmings, okay? And so, it is called two things. You've got Christmas Lemmings or Holiday Lemmings. I believe it was Christmas Lemmings on the disc and Holiday Lemmings on the in the actual program itself, like when you load it up.
Okay.
I don't know why, and I tried to look. I didn't see anything. Same boys that worked on the original Lemmings worked on this one. So you know what to expect. And this is one of the things that came out on. I guess this answers our previous question. This came out on the PC and the Mac. The Mac Classic got a version of this. So
I ought to put that on the Mac for the Christmas party.
Yeah. Now. And I'm going to thank Hall of Light for this because I'd never heard this before. This was first released in 91 as a gift to the fans. It was a 4-level demo. Mm-hmm. It was released in 92. Then in 93, they released, this is a commercial game. So you're playing something that you would buy, okay?
Yes.
The box said Christmas Lemmings, and the in-game screen does in fact read Holiday Lemmings. That's what mine said. So that was in 93. So in 94, they were like, let's make some bucks.
Yeah, let's go full on out.
I'm guessing they did pretty well. And so in 94, they released Holiday Lemmings 94. All right. Now, which is basically the one I played. And the reason is the original levels that were in 93, there were 32 levels in it, and they're all in this one. So you've got when you buy this one, you get all those levels plus you get all the new levels. Okay, so if you're going to play one of these, just go ahead and play 94. Or if you're like me, you can play either one because there's not a chance in hell you're getting past the 30-second level.
That's very true.
There's a 0% chance. So, what is Holiday Lemmings or Christmas Lemmings? Well, if you ever played Lemmings, it's if you played the original Lemmings, I don't mean the tribes or any of the sequels. This is straight up Lemmings, just like the original was. There's no tribes. It's a standard set of tools, and which is odd because in '94, I believe tribes has already been released. They could have actually, so they kept going with the original as opposed to going with the newer version, which not a bad idea.
And it might have been easier to quickly churn out levels.
Well, lighter fare.
Yeah.
So, and I noticed this also doesn't have a 2-player option. It's kind of a bummer, but that's the way it goes. I think me and you are the only people that like the 2-player version of Lemmings.
I can't believe other people don't like it.
And we had a good old time playing
it was
didn't
fun.
we? So, in this version of Lemmings, it's exactly the same except it's got a Christmas motif. You've got snow, you've got Christmas lights, you've got snowmen, you've got weird bouncing, what do you call it, jack-in-the-boxes. You've got a lovely chateau.
You appear to be escaping into a coconut with some candles on the sides of it.
It's a decorative chateau.
Oh, okay.
And your Lemmings, of course, are wearing little Santa outfits.
Yeah.
Now,
and again, it's amazing how much personality. They change 1 or 2 colors, but you can see the little bouncy Santa hats and things like that. It's amazing the personality of the Lemmings since they're so small sprite wise.
And the chat has given 2-player Lemmings some love.
That's
so good for you guys.
That's good.
Now, I played through this to about level 10. All right, that's pretty much where and it's not because I didn't have time, it's because I'm not very good. I thought I thought the same thing about the original Lemmings. It's one of those games that you have to get into your groove on.
Right.
And it took me a while to get, and I wasn't fully in it, but I got mostly in it. I am most comfortable with this sort of Lemmings.
Me too.
This is the one I played the most, and so I hopped right back in. I thought it was fun. Lemmings is, it's Lemmings is one of those games I never really pick up and play, but when I do play it, I always enjoy it. I don't know what that means.
Well, it's good in small doses.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
One thing that surprised me, and I'm not saying that the music for this is bad, but it wasn't Christmassy music. It just seemed like music.
Yeah, but it was. I've always had a soft spot for the Lemmings music. I mean, I want to say maybe I played a different. I don't know. I thought I heard Jingle Bells in there somewhere.
It didn't seem very Christmassy to me. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
It just seemed like straight up Lemmings music.
Well, it definitely was different than Lemmings music.
It wasn't
was
Lemmings. No, it wasn't the same music because that stuff's recognizable theme.
Right.
This just seemed like other music.
But this is one of the few Amiga games that doesn't go the Eurodance trash route.
Look what Ricky wrote. 94 uses music from Oh No More Lemmings. There you go.
There you go. So
okay, so good job, DeRocher.
Yeah.
So why? Why would you not put some Christmas music in there?
It's a very good question. They should have done that.
Or some, something. But I mean, this is, I'm not going to, it's another one, I don't know. You're getting 32 old levels, plus I get presumably 32 new levels of Lemmings. That's a crap load of Lemmings where but this is a commercial product.
Right.
So I'm going to look at this on the basis of another Lemmings or a sequel. It plays fine. If you ran through all your old levels and you're ready for new ones, you got them. There's not a darn thing wrong with it.
Especially, like you said, this, if you felt let down by, Lemmings tribes or some of the newer formats of Lemmings and you wanted them to make a game that was just like the Lemmings you loved, this is it. This is the perfect one for you.
And I don't want to rag on tribes because I like tribes. It's a fun game. But it's a different slant, but this one, for me, having not played Lemmings for quite a while, to come in, I could pick it. I sat down once we figured out what we were playing for this show, and I sat down with both games, and I beat it right away. And I played Fire Nights a few times over the week just to make sure I kept steady on it. But this one I played on and off all week long, and it was like slipping on an old pair of slippers. It was fine. It ran fine. It's got level codes, like you're used to. There's nothing here that you're not used to. There's no surprises. It is festive looking. The graphics look fine. The Lemmings are exactly the same except for what they're wearing. They don't say anything festive or, they did. I'm not gonna say they did the bare minimum, but they just changed graphic sets and then they made levels. I can't speak on all the levels obviously, but the levels I played, I had a good time with. I thought they were I thought they increased in difficulty at a pretty decent rate. I mean, the first couple you can skip through easy. It's just like typical Lemmings. They've always done a pretty good job of ramping up the difficulty.
I agree.
You know, you can pick the difficulty you want to start at and go from. I think it goes. Which is also winter themed. I think it starts with like drizzly or and you go to like winter storm or
and then it's like
blizzard or
blizzard,
something like that.
yeah. And which I didn't even look at those.
No, gosh, are you kidding me? That'd be super hard. It's funny, just to go off on a tangent a little bit, we were just talking on Discord, and I read this today that I think it's today they have just released Lemmings on the mobile devices. There's now a mobile version. Did you look at this at all? I had a look at it. I watched the demo of it.
It does not look good.
The art style is different.
It's different and not good.
I almost said this and I didn't type it, but I'm going to say it on the show. A lot of phone games have a look, right? I don't know. It's shiny and smooth. It's a look, and this has that look. It looks like a phone game. It's not an insult.
Yeah,
they just look a lot alike.
You know, nothing has been market researched to death like anything related to mobile gaming, and they've determined that when games look like this, they sell.
Really,
and so
I believe it.
Yeah.
And I watched and apparently this is going to have microtransactions, and I mean, can you imagine Lemmings? I don't know how that's going to work.
Well, it's not going to be the same game, of course.
I'm guessing not. And I mentioned in Discord, it seems like it'd be easier just to put an emulator on your phone and.
I don't know. Playing Lemmings with a touch screen on your phone does not sound like a good time.
If you have a decent size instead of a phone, you've got the big thing.
Well, it's not so much the size of the screen; it's the size of your finger. As you try and
what I would use is a stylus.
Oh, so you're adding. I mean, it's still. I mean, so you're carrying around a stylus with you.
My phone has one built. I guess most don't. My phone has a stylus. I use it all the time.
Perfect for Aaron's phone. Lemmings.
Listen. Hey, I'm not promoting it, boat. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to give them something here. I don't want to kill this game because I haven't played it. But it's probably going to be ripe with what the usual phone stuff is. Sure. Be that as may, your thoughts on Holiday Lemmings 94. I'm assuming you played 94.
Yeah, I played 94. It's fine. I guess I wish that I would have realized that it wasn't holiday music. I don't know why I didn't notice that, because normally I really am cognizant of that sort of thing.
Listen, I sat there and listened to it, and because it's festive.
But it's just not.
I listened to it, and I thought, this doesn't sound like Jingle Bells
and I mean,
anything.
If there's any sort of genre that's ripe with royalty-free music nobody cares if you use, it's Christmas music.
Right.
So really a missed opportunity there. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really in love with the game. Maybe I'm not the biggest fan of Lemmings, but I felt like, when I want to play Lemmings, I'll play the original, and I'll have fun with that. This is great if you really like Lemmings, I guess. I'm just not the biggest fan of the game, I think.
I think Lemmings is super clever. I will say, I love Lemmings. I mean, I just really love it.
I think that part of what annoys me is part of the reason why people like the game. I get annoyed that, like, a lot of times I can't do what I want to do, and it's because of the interface. Like, if you've got a whole glom of Lemmings that are marching towards you, and you want the one in front to be the blocker, unless you are dead on with when you click and when you make the box around it, you're not going. It's not going to happen. In a lot of these levels, you have to rescue 100% of the Lemmings, and so you're screwed from the get-go. If you made the game different, then it wouldn't be Lemmings. If you made the game where it was like, okay, I'm going to pause the game, I'm going to pick the Lemming that I want, and I want him to be the blocker. But then again, it takes away the sort of reflexive action that you need to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think that's part of what makes Lemmings interesting is that in some ways, Lemmings reminds me of Worms in a weird way, and that if you added too much control or precision to it, it takes away what makes it amusing.
It is. That's a very apt comparison.
And so, in Worms, if you could always hit with the weapon or you use rope perfectly, then it would be lame.
And the difference is with Worms, you're playing against somebody else, and you know that they're going to screw up at some point too, and that's what makes it fun.
I think if you don't like Lemmings, this isn't going to be the thing that wins you back.
Very true.
On the flip side, if you're feeling festive, it's Christmas time, you want to put something on and play it, this'll probably scratch your itch. It's like I said, I enjoyed it. My son watched me play it. He got a kick out of it. I don't think he'd ever seen Lemmings before. And it's always high comedy when you blow these suckers up.
Oh yeah, it's a great. One of the greatest things they did was make the nuclear feature where they all explode.
It's the level design in this is actually I'm not gonna say it's underrated because it's not. People realize how awesome Lemmings is. I mean, it's got a statue for God's sakes, but it is very cunningly done. Really, both games and this is not something I always say on Amiga games, but the level design, the attention to the levels was well done. They really went in there and they made everything look good. And you've got the Lemmings in this, unlike Tribes, where you've got just a slew of Lemmings that do a bunch of crazy stuff. I mean, the Lemmings in this are just your standard Lemmings, building, digging, and stuff. And so you can just sit back and it's not as manic. It's not as manic. I put a T in there. It's not as manic as the Tribes got and some of the other ones did. So for me, I like those too. But they had to change the direction of the game because otherwise you just keep making level packs from now to Doomsday, which they did.
Right.
But if there's nothing wrong with going back to the first one since it wasn't broke.
Yeah. So
I like this one. So I looked up both these games. Let's talk about 93 first. Now, and 93. Actually got reviewed. I found a review for it. On Lemon, 93 has an 8.36, which again is super duper high. And Amiga Format 55 gave it an 84%, which that's probably closer. I mean, they didn't reinvent the wheel on this. Now, I found a boxed copy of it. I was surprised. And in the UK, you can buy this one. It must be pretty rare. Because the box copy of it's $76. The box is interesting looking too. It's almost like a package. It's interesting. It's a cute little box. And if you just want the discs for it, I found those going for $10 and $12. So 93. Now, if you want to, I would just go ahead and get 94 unless you just had to have 93.
I guess the only upside, as Ricky pointed out, is that you do get Christmas music in the 93 version.
All right, now 93, they released a cover disc version of this, which is the only one I could find. I couldn't find any other versions for sale. I found it for $5 in the UK. Of course, again, I don't know. I would wager these did get American releases because my version on the Amiga was not marred. It worked fine. So this one also got reviewed. It got an 85 in Amiga Action, and the Lemon folks gave it an 8.46. So both of them, same ballpark. I mean, effectively they're the same games. 94 has more levels. So yeah, get your Christmas on. I mean, do you remember what we reviewed last year for Christmas? I would say, these are both fun things. They're nice, fun holiday diversions. I think they're amongst.
I want to say that in years past, we might not have always done. Well, we James Pond 2 the first year.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what we've done in this is our 4th Christmas show now.
Oh, jeez, are you kidding me?
So,
we had 4 of these things?
Yeah.
I can't believe it, man.
So, but the Christmas show has always been the big show until last year, remember, we were still over there, and we had the big table set up, and Wilcox was here. It was the Wilcox Hour.
I didn't like it over there. I like it over here better.
It's cozier over here. But, of course, the big show this year is going to be the New Year's show. So we'll talk more about that in just a second. So, but
every show is a big, huge show.
Is it? Is it
just
like Raw?
None more or less important than the last. That's right.
Have you heard about how Vince had to come back on to Raw and tell the fans, because I guess maybe this is a couple weeks old now, because I was listening to the Giant Bombcast and they were talking about how it was the lowest rated Raw of all time, and they actually had to bring Vince out on the show to tell them, we've heard you and we're going to make some changes around here.
As long as Vince is still alive, it won't change. he has the final word. I don't watch Raw anymore, so I watch highlight of it and that's it.
You're probably better off.
They've ran me off.
So Aaron, do want to remind everyone that we have swag for sale at everythingamiga.com/swag. You can get yourself a festive Amigos tee.
We should sell toques next year.
We
That'd
should.
Be nice.
That would be great. I'm exploring our merchandising options.
Oh boy.
I also want to tell everybody, if you could write us a review on iTunes, that would be awesome, because iTunes is still the hub for where so many podcatchers get their reviews. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. Of course, you can support the show on Patreon, become part of the Amigos Game Selection Committee, and choose these fine games we play every week. And you can become part of the Patreon song. And last week's song, a Wings classic. I know how much you love Paul once he left the Beatles. Let 'Em In, otherwise known as, I don't know what else. Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody said it was that. So Let 'Em In.
Let 'Em out.
We had Paul Kitching. Congratulations to Paul Kitching, Darren Coles, Colin 419, and Joski Rock for guessing that correctly.
He sounds like a DJ.
Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he is. This week's song, Aaron, we're gonna get a little sentimental in being with the season. If you know this week's Patreon song, you can send me a message at john@amigospodcast.com, and I will read your name as a winner on the air next week as part of our New Year's Eve spectacular.
I suspect this song is going to be an affront to the holiday and everything it stands for.
Retro Man Cave, Tim Drew, Daniel Williams, Robert Edgerton III, Simon Rose, Joseph Harrison, Kyle Etter, Rob O'Hara, Howard Nibbs, Matthew Larimore, Andy Craig, Sean Zoe, Darren Lomax, Colin 419, Bark Bit, Roland Burke, Andrew Monks, Joe the Zombie, John Cook, Dan Ross, Leaf Kelland, Alan Kebab, Checote, Levelor, John Marshall, Matthew Perrot, Ricky DeRusha, Creepy Dead Boy, Figgy CTZ, The Slow Norris, Stefan Sorgard, Mortensen, Edvin Helen, Blindo 75, Christopher Hassel, Ravi Abbott, Chris Folds, Dreamcatcher, Lauren Giroux, Graham Vebke, Brent Dowdy, Lane Denson, Adam Battersby, O'Brien's Retro and Vintage, Gary Hucker, C. Brian Jones, Paul Harrington and Duncan Stiles, Alan Kebab, Anthony Jarvis, Tapes from the Crypt, Josh Nat, Adam Bradley, Jonas Rulo, THT, Eric Nelson, Kim Tommy, Humbertstad, Daniel Bingston, Brutal Barracuda, Darren Coles, Jason Warnes, Pixels at Dawn, Kjolbjorn Barman, Kjolbjorn Barman, Kjolbjorn Barman, to you. Sorry, I knew that would choke you up.
You broke me up on that boat. Good Lord. That was touching, man.
Well, I try. I work. Usually, right after we wrap on Friday nights is when I choose the song. I go through my Rolodex, and then I talk with my arranger.
Oh,
and
yeah?
we find my perfect key.
Really?
Yeah, and then over the course of the week, through several vocal rehearsals, he sort of coaches me through it. And then, I do a little bit of the salt water, the honey, and just to make sure that that's what I've got in here.
Your arranger should be wrote up on a capital offense.
He only works with the best.
Oh, yeah? What's he doing here? He's excelling himself in some way.
So, Aaron, the time has come. Christmas has come early to Amigo Studios.
It has. It has.
We have several gifts from our fine listeners, and I'm going to let you open this first one. This is. Why don't you tell us who this came from?
So this is from our good buddy, the Slow Norris.
He's the slowest.
The Slow Norris sent me a message. He said, I'm sending something your way. Now, Slow has been very, very generous man. And in the past, and so I'm sure he sent something very clever here. It could be a big picture of like a page 3 girl or whatever.
It's Barbara Whitaker or whatever from
All right, help me out
Barbarian.
here, Boat.
Wow, look at
Man,
this.
Look at that. That looks fancy.
This is a.
All right, I think that's all that was in here. Okay. You
All right. Well, we're going to unfurl it as part of a team effort.
All right.
Okay, so you just grab the
To be
end.
honest, it's just like the Amigos suck. Or something on it.
Good. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, that is
Wow.
that is something.
That is.
You could take this with you over to Ireland.
Yeah,
Boat.
I'm sure they won't have very many Amiga signs at Amiga Ireland.
Hey, at least you'll have one. Look at that. Can you see it all on camera?
Yeah,
Boat?
it's all there on camera. Thank you so much,
Slow.
Slow. This is going to make a great piece for.
God, that is awesome.
Boy.
We could hang that in the background.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is nice.
That's very cool. I'm going to see if I can
I bet
attach some
Slow
things
had
to
that
the,
printed up somewhere.
Yeah, thank you so much, Slow Norris. We will attach this to the brick wall behind
Slow's
us here.
giving me all kinds of stuff with the Amiga 600 in my continuing efforts to get it up and running.
All right, thank you very much.
I love that. Yeah, that was great.
Okay, moving right along. Tuk-a-doom, footloose and fancy free. We got
Put that on a flagpole. I agree.
We've got a
Man.
package from Chris Folds.
Looks like Chris Bowles sent that via wagon train.
Hey man, when you send things from England, sometimes stuff happens.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, he says the purple thing is for you. So
Oh, okay.
this is obviously for me because that's not purple.
That's a thing? I thought that was some filler.
Here is the purple thing.
All right. Is Folds in the house? I don't see him in here. So, Chris Folds. Am I going to go first then?
Yep,
Whoops.
you're going to go first.
Okay. Better take this seriously, Boat. Oh my God.
Oh.
I think these are these magnets?
Yeah, those are refrigerator magnets.
Oh,
and they're
sweet
all
Lord.
Amiga games.
Now, guys, look at these. Folds knows what I like. I'll see if the camera can pick this up. These are little magnets of all the various Cinemaware games.
Oh.
There's Lords of the Rising Sun, Wings. Oh, God. Oh, man, look at that, Boat. You got Three Stooges, Sinbad.
That is awesome.
That is
I don't even know how you get those.
Rocket Ranger. I don't
Is
either.
there a store in the UK that sells Cinemaware magnets?
Look
Because
at
that's
that.
the store I want to visit.
Defender of the Crown, which took up a big chunk of my life back in the first year of the show.
Yeah, we've talked about it every week.
King of Chicago. And it came from the desert. That's about the darndest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
George.
that's
What do you
awesome.
think about that?
Especially with the magnetic walls of Amigo Studios East.
Yes, I'm going to put all these up,
Yeah.
dude. Oh, Folds. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Thank you, Chris. And he's
Those
here
are
with us in the chat.
Those are so nice. Oh, are you here? Thank you, Folds. Good Lord. You know what I like, dude. God, can you believe that?
That's awesome.
That's awful nice. These are going to go right in the Amigo Studios.
Here's what he got me. So I open it. It is a piece of wood that says Auto Art UK. I'm guessing there's something on the back of it. Oh, look at this. This is
wow, isn't that nice?
laser cut Mr. Do. Folds knows about my great love for Mr. Do, and he delivered in spades.
See that thing, Boat?
Look at that. Laser etched
That
Mr.
is
Do.
That is something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's awesome.
You can't see the texture of this, but I mean, the texture is quite amazing, isn't it? Look at it. Look what it does to the camera. It really jacks it up a little bit. Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris. That is super cool.
You can't go wrong with the do.
No.
Do the do.
No. All right.
Man, that was
So,
awesome. Thank you, sir.
We have the best fans in the world.
I can't believe those. Those are great.
I don't really want to call them fans. They're really
I don't call them fans because that would be
that would imply that we are worthy of
they're more like helpers
yeah.
or like assistants
People
or like
that-
or
yeah.
other stars.
other stars.
What do you got here?
Well, we're going to need to clear the table.
Oh man. Okay. Move this. Man.
Okay, now I
My
know
buddies are gonna die when they see this. Brent's gonna have a heart attack. You're gonna kill Brent.
I know what this package is because on the I thought that I pre-opened it, but I didn't. Hold
It's
on.
got a butter knife over here.
Yeah.
Go to work, sir.
Okay.
You'll never make it as a slasher.
I never. On the front, there's a big FedEx sticker that says, "This package contains alcohol." So, I love it already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this a package from?
Well, we don't know who it's from yet. There might be a card.
I got a pretty good idea.
Let's see if there is a card. If there's not a card. Graham Vebke sends this to us direct from Australia. So,
Graham is our resident bartender.
absolutely. Let's see
He
here.
made me here. Let me open that while you open it. Oh,
Well,
you
I got
cut it?
scissors, yeah. They wrap these things
I
up
was gonna
good.
just rip it open.
All right, well, I got it started.
There you go. Thank you. Now, Graham is another. All these guys are super generous people. Always give us goodies, don't they?
Absolutely. How are you doing over there?
I'm okay, man. I've been unwrapping booze since before you were born,
That's
Bo.
very true.
Man, this is wrapped good too. Oh man, I see it. I see it right now. Oh yeah, look at that boat. What we've got here, Black Bush
Wow.
Irish whiskey, y'all.
Now,
Irish whiskey.
I have never, this may surprise you, I have never in my life drank Irish whiskey before. I've only drank Scotch and
Really?
bourbon.
Well, you're
So-
gonna have to, and I think Graham mentioned this. You're gonna have to bone up. For
That's
your trip.
true. That's true.
And so I think this is on the docket right here. Some bonage, because this right here.
I
is
like
some-
the sound of that.
Listen, trust me, you're gonna be boned. Look at that. That is nice. Thank you very much, Graham. Graham is super duper generous.
Graham
too.
also has sent us, look at this. Now, this is peated, my favorite, the peated single malt. This is like the Islay Scotch. Unique among Irish whiskeys, Connemara is the only Irish peated single malt whiskey in existence today. So this is a single malt, which means it's top shelf, and it comes in this decorative.
Anything that comes in a cool box.
Right. Look at that.
This this tastes just like soil.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I know you love this. So you even look, the color of it suggests the soily taste of it, the earthy. I guess earthy is a better way to put it than soily. Come on, who doesn't want to drink soily? Come on, Gary. I'm
That's from that movie, Soily Green is people.
So, yeah, soily green, the dirty people. That's awful awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Man,
Graham.
I'm going to be drinking the crap out of this
I'm
on
gonna
the New Year's show,
Yeah.
actually. I'm going to break it open. So you're actually funding our next show. Boozy on.
Okay, well, the next gift is from me, Aaron.
Why don't you open mine first, because I'm not sure mine will be much lamer.
No, go ahead, man.
No, mine will be much lamer than this. Why don't you open mine?
Okay.
I just got you just a little something.
All right.
Accoutrement.
So we've got Bill and Ted's most atypical movie cards. Boy, these came from the Hillbilly Flea Market. They had to have come. There's
No,
only
they
one
did
place
not.
left on Earth.
They did not come from there.
Did they come from another flea market?
No, they did not. They came from an antique store.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I bought a bunch of cards, and I was like, man, I'm going to give some of these away.
This is a bodacious trip to San Dimas, California. You can win. I'm sure that this is not expired yet. So, and these are, and now this, I don't know what this is. It says Plasm.
Oh, did you get
zero
two of those?
issue.
Is there another one in there?
Yeah, there's two.
Okay, no, I mean, is there another one in there?
Another Bill and Ted's
I know, I
cards?
screwed you. There's supposed to be one other set of cards, but that's okay. I'll make it up to you. You can have those two.
Okay, so
I don't know what they
you're
are.
You don't know what these are.
No.
Okay, well these are zero issue playing cards beyond, or trading cards beyond the imaginary limit. So I don't know.
What's the little word on the front?
Plasm.
Plasm. Mm-hmm. You know these are good.
Yeah.
Got
There's
a good
no
looking
way.
girl
they
on the
could-
front. Look at her hand. That can't be natural.
No, that's raptor hands right
You can
there.
expect another set pack of cards. I've got another set from the Rocketeer.
Oh, can't
yeah.
wait. Can't wait.
Only the best. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Oh, there's also something else in there.
Oh yeah, there's actually a
Dummy.
real gift. Breakout. Now this I love because you know about.
Tell me you haven't read that.
No, I have not read it, but I thought about purchasing it for myself, and
Very
so I'm
good.
glad that I didn't. This is Breakout: How Atari 8-bit Computers Defined a Generation. So, as you all know, the Atari computer is my first computing love, and this. Boy, I can't wait. Look at that. There's the 1450 XLD. Look at that beast.
Yeah.
So I will read the heck out of this. Thank you so much, Aaron.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's see what you got in here. I hope the playing cards you got me or something are unique. From both.
That's course. I did not wrap that. That's all Eep, of course.
Yeah, because it's wrapped real well.
Right.
Okay. There you go. Is this what's in here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know what this is. Steam something? I don't know what that...
What, can you read the word right there?
I don't know what that means. Can you tell me what it means? It's thank you. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I
It's a Steam Link.
don't know what that is.
Okay. A Steam Link lets you play games on your computer in your bedroom out in the building. You hook that up to your Ethernet cable, and you can stream games from your computer, from your good computer out to any computer in your house.
Oh, okay.
And now that's not all. You know how you can run other things through Steam, like other non-Steam games?
Yeah.
So you can load that up with emulator. You can connect all your emulators through Steam, then connect that to any TV in your house through HDMI, and boom, you can play anything you want through any TV.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Thanks, man. Wow, fancy, eh? Thank you very much, Bo.
You're welcome.
I'm sure I'll find something nefarious to do with this, too.
Yeah, there are all kinds of nefarious deeds.
Awesome. That'll be a fun toy to play with. Thank you, Bo.
No problem.
Good Lord. Super nice. My Christmas is over. I'm done now. I got everything. I got magnets, booze, and I got a big banner. We're in business, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Aaron. Next week, it's the biggest show of the year. Our New Year's Eve spectacular. There's going to be off-the-wall craziness going on. There's going to be the Best of Awards, where we have all of our fans. Listen, we had so many votes this year compared to last year. Almost 3 times as many people voted this year for the awards than last year.
Did you ever think we'd get anyone to do anything?
No, because it's very difficult to get anyone to do anything, including us. And so we have the voting was very interesting this year too. There will be some surprises, and I won't say that you'll always be happy. I won't say that you'll be as upset as when the Three Stooges won worst game of all time, but there will be some surprises. There will be predictions for 2019.
We'll have
Lots
to look over
of people.
what we predicted last year. I watched last year's show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
To get boned up on
Maybe you can be in charge of that segment.
Yeah, but I forgot everything, so I'll write it down this time. But yeah. Because we made some bold predictions last year, and we're taking predictions, I believe, as well. Or if anybody wants to email in some predictions for the coming year.
That was part of the voting process. There was a field where you could do that.
You're right. I forgot you thought of everything on the vote.
Yeah.
That ballot was very thorough.
Well, we covered a lot of games last year.
You know, I wonder how many games we've went over in totality.
Well,
what episode is
we
this?
do? We do at least 50 games. Well, this is episode 178.
Okay. God, are you kidding me?
Yeah. So we've done so at least 178, but we've done tons of episodes where we've done more than one game. So I'd say over 200 episodes or over 200 games we've exhaustively reviewed.
I bet we've done 250, and that's not even counting the stuff like Amigos Place where we just did one we didn't review, or look at. It's crazy, and there's still tons of stuff out there I've never heard of.
Absolutely.
So it makes it fascinating. You said this is our 4th Christmas show. What do you think about that? That's crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. And I have no memory of our 2nd Christmas show.
I don't know.
I remember last year because last year we had the big long table. John Marshall was here. He's in the chat.
I think the first year we had Brent on. We had the big tree.
That's right. No, that was the 2nd year, I think. The first year, I think it was just me and you, and we were still doing audio only.
Yeah.
And then the 2nd year, we had the table over there.
Had a
and
green
it was
screen.
Brent with green. Yeah. Then last year, we were over here. So every Christmas episode, we've been at a different location. We just keep moving around Amiga
We've
Studios.
almost certainly had different mics and different cameras, different setups. Nothing will change in the other studio. We're done.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to and people also chose their favorite Amigos moment of 2019. Care to guess what people's favorite Amigos moments were regarding your antics?
I don't have any idea. Because I don't remember anything I do or say, which is probably for the best. I don't want to know. So when we go back these flashbacks, I very rarely go back and watch the old shows. I'll listen to them sometimes, I won't watch them. Because I'm always appalled at me and what I say and do. It's better off just not to know.
I don't agree with that at all.
Wacky indeed.
So make sure you join us next week. We're probably going to be getting that same early start.
Yeah.
I'd
say we'll be hitting about 3. I figured next week's show's gonna be a long one too.
Yeah,
don't you think?
yeah, there's
And
gonna
we're not even gonna hurry.
Yeah, and we're not going to review. There's not going to be any game next week. It's just all going to be best of awards, glorious banter, the uncorking of our lovely Irish whiskeys from Graham, and just a good old time.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And also, unlike the year before, I actually wrote all my ballot stuff down.
Good.
So when I go back through it, I won't have to guess what I picked because I can be moody, as you know. So that well know.
All right. Well, we will see you guys next week. Until then, adios.